got a question from Judy. We'll answer that next week.
We just about got run over by the IRS train wreck of the week. So today's train wreck is a little bit different than normal. I get a little bit bored just talking about, win after win after win. So this is going to be a partial win story today. I have a client where we filed an offer in compromise, and it's really timely that I just explain how an offer works. And one of the things is he had a rental house, or he has a rental house. This case is still going on. He has a rental house up north, and the IRS wants to count the rental income as income, but doesn't want to count the mortgage or any of the costs of maintaining that house as expenses. So they want their cake and they want to eat it too.
I was going to say, that's not real math by any standards.
And there's an overarching rule in my world, in the IRS, problem resolution world, that any expense that's necessary for the production of income is an allowable expense. So what does that mean? Well, if you got to spend money to make money, you get that as an expense.
It's kind of like a real estate agent. If I don't have a car and I can't drive, I probably can't make a living.
Yeah. So, he wouldn't have that rental house if he didn't pay the mortgage.
Right.
Would you agree with that as a real estate professional?
Yes.
If he doesn't pay the mortgage, he's not going to have the house. What if he didn't pay the property taxes? What if he didn't pay the insurance? He's not going to have the house. So the IRS is like, we want to attribute the income to him, but none of the expenses. And that means that the offer cannot work because he now has the ability to pay in this fictional, weirdness land that they're, interpreting this. And this goes through two levels. It goes through the field level, the initial level that decides the offer. They make this bizarre sort of, decision. And then I file an appeal because I'm like, this can't stand. This is ridiculous. So I file the appeal, and the appeal goes kind of like this. The appeal's on the phone, kind of goes like this. Well, you lose. I'm like, well, ma'am, let me explain to you in all these different ways using the Internal Revenue Manual why I don't lose. And the whole time she's just completely closed off to me. She's like, nope, you lose. A house is a house is a house. You only get one house. We want we're going to take the income. We're not going to give you the expenses. You lose. So this goes on for about 10 minutes. And I'm starting to lose my patience. And finally, I take a deep breath and I said, look, can I just get the name and phone number of your supervisor? And I just want to talk to the supervisor about it, and we can probably get this resolved. And she said, absolutely. She gives me the name and stuff. And she says something like, well, I would be absolutely shocked if my supervisor changes this decision that I've made. I said, I imagine that you would be shocked. Because what I'm saying in my mind is because you don't have a clue what you're doing.
Yeah, and it went through two people already.
So, I hang up with her, and I make another phone call. I call another buddy of mine who's a nationally renowned expert, and I go, hey, am I off?
Just to make sure you're not missing something.
Yeah, I'm like, am I missing something? Is there something wrong here? This is what I think. And he goes, Darrin, absolutely. You're totally right. That's what I would argue. And so I'm on the phone with him for 45 minutes. We're talking about, he's coming to visit today, as a matter of fact, from up north. And we're visiting and whatnot. And then I get this phone message, and it was that lady, the appeals lady, had called back, and she wanted me to call her back. So I called her back, and but her demeanor is completely changed. She's like nice.
Talk to somebody.
She's nice. So she says, I went and talked to my supervisor, and I've never handled this exact type of situation before, and we need the following documents, XYZ 1, 2, 3, and if we'll give you a couple weeks to provide those documents. It was all documents pertaining to the expenses associated with the rental, right?